welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I am J Cool. I post interesting videos such as daily news, entertainment, filming, so you need to subscribe.
Thank you very much, Director of Ceremonies. Just to acknowledge all of the colleagues that are here. As our colleague has already articulated, the Minister, Secretary of Cabinet, the PSs that are here. He was struggling to define his title, but easy to call him the Presidential Health Advisor, because that's another role that he plays here. And yes, any other colleagues that are here, I said PSs already, DMMU, colleagues from the media. Let me continue by first indicating that the country is going through a very difficult situation at the moment. The cholera outbreak is something that we never wish to be the way we begin the year, the 2024, if you like, a calendar year. But we are in this situation that the country opens the year with a, dreadful and basically terrible disease called cholera, which has taken a lot of our people, young people included in there. Of course, life is life, old, middle-aged, young. But when you see many young people being taken down by the disease, it's really a very unfortunate situation. As I said, life is life. No life is less important than the other. But I want to continue by offering our sincere condolences to the families of those dear ones that have left us because of the cholera outbreak. And I do understand that the briefing I got is that today we may be sitting at somewhere over 266 deaths. I say over because this is a continuing, unfortunately, developing situation. Deaths and more deaths are taking place. So condolences to the immediate family members, to all of us as a country. These are our family members, fellow citizens that we have lost. So we offer our words of warmth, God's guidance, strength, as it may be, to our families. And we want to indicate that at this stage, I want to say I'm grateful to the work, we are grateful to the work that is being done, Ministry of Health, all the other aligned ministries or ministries that have been involved, that have been brought together to the table, DMMU, for the efforts that are so far have been taken to reduce the number of deaths that have been experienced. So thank you so much, but there's a lot more work to be done. A lot more work needs to be done, and that's why I took this decision to return into Lusaka, which is the epicenter of this outbreak. So we must all work hard together to put this disease under control, like yesterday, because we can't afford any more loss of lives. And it is clear that from the statistics that have been released that a number of our citizens go to seek medical treatment late. Please do not stay at home. When you are feeling unwell, I think the messaging around cholera has been driven and given by you, the media, by the ministry, by aligned specialists, and the symptoms, I think, have been well articulated. So please, fellow citizens, when you feel unwell or you know your neighbor in the same house, first in the same house, when you see that someone is ill in the house, do not hesitate to rush them to seek medical treatment, to a place where medical treatment will be availed. Namikupa shangwe. Napempa. Tapempa. Do not waste time. I understand 50% of the deaths are occasioned by the delays in seeking medical treatment. I hear the issues around stigma. No one should feel stigmatized by cholera. No one. Because the consequences are dreadful, we know. So please, let's seek medical attention from competent places. Different sports around Lusaka, for example. Health centers. Now, the Hero Stadium. Let's not wait for the ambulance. I'm talking to the community now, to families. Let's find every means of transport to take our dear ones, family members, to treatment centers. And I do believe, Minister of Health and your team, we are providing all the information as to where these centers are on an ongoing basis. Because if more are opened, they need to be advertised so that people know. So please, let's do that. The health providers and all of the ministries, I understand, the civil society, private companies, all of the community, the whole community of Lusaka and Zambia is working together to bring the disease under control. That's our priority. If you ask me what's the priority, that's the priority. That's the one. And everything will be done. Already men and women in uniform are on the ground, I understand. So everything will be done to control this disease. That's my message to fellow citizens. But is this enough? No. It's not enough. We need to access vaccines. We've been working around the issue of vaccines. I'm sure you've heard my statements in the past that we want Zambia. We're working on Zambia manufacturing cholera vaccines. While we're still working on this, we have this outbreak. But in the meantime, we will access vaccines from wherever they are, which will help ameliorate, I think, the loss of lives. That's what the medical colleagues are saying. But going forward, we should not allow this situation to continue every rain season. We've left it like this for too long. You go to our shanty compounds, high density, let's call them high density locations in Lusaka. We'll have to open up roads there. We'll have to bring drainage in there. We cannot skip this action anymore. We cannot put it at the back of the queue anymore. Because some of the areas you can't drive in there to lift our sick and take them to medical care facilities quickly. So going forward, yes, we will not do it in the rain, but immediately the rains ease, we will have to open up roads, open up drainage. We have to be decisive, and we will be, about the issue of plastics clogging drainages. It's been a debate for some time now. We cannot postpone it anymore. Earlier I touched on the vaccine production. We'll have to accelerate that, Minister of Health. We have to put all our hands on the deck. Many countries don't produce this vaccine because they are not affected, because their hygiene levels are much higher. But we who are affected, we have no choice but to do what is necessary. Partnering with whoever is willing to do that with us. But going forward again, there will be no settlement, Minister of Health. We have to strengthen, reinforce building standards. No new settlements should be allowed without the basic facilities. What are they? Roads, once more. Drainage. Water supply. There will be no new shallow wells ever again in the urban settings. Those that are there, we have to bury them. I think that message came through already. But in the process, we have to provide water. I know we are providing water, but we have to redouble our efforts to provide water. But let me return to the subject of going forward. Local government, Secretary of Cabinet, you briefed me that the committee of ministries that are involved, no one will work alone anymore. Health, it will be your duty to see what new settlements are coming through, and when they don't have the minimum requirements, which we have to define anyway, we have to shut those places down. How do you shut them down? You prevent them. You don't allow them to mushroom. Why? The reason is here on the table. It's with us. Clear. Clear. So collaboration, Secretary of Cabinet. This morning I was sending you messages. Collaborating government efforts, central government, local government, all other community members, to make sure that we toe the line, we walk together, we sing from the same hymn sheet. That's all. So where the laws are weak, we will legislate. Processes are weak, we will tighten them up. Overall, we should come out of this annual stuff once and for all. If it happens, it's because sometimes we import it from a neighboring country. We import it from somewhere because of mobility, human mobility. But not us to be the generators. This is hard work. This will be tough. This will be expensive. But we have to put our resources in the priority areas. As we're doing in education, this is another priority area. We need every decent, normal body, human being we have to focus on them producing something in the economy, not losing them like this. Once more, I want to thank the teams that have been working, Minister. I've noticed you've been working hard, and your team, Secretary of Cabinet and your team, my advisors here, DMMU, all of the colleagues, frontline medical staff who are in harm's way, working to save lives. I want to thank all of you on behalf of the government and the people of Zambia. But let's continue working harder from now onwards. Thank you for coming, media. I know you came in the rain. Without you, we cannot deliver the messages around prevention, around seeking early treatment or treatment early. So thank you for your usual support. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency. We will now give an opportunity to members of the press to ask a question. You know the rules. One question each. State the name of the organization from which you come, and you ask a question in relation to what we discussed today. So the issue today is Cholera, and we expect that you have questions around Cholera. Any other questions around any other issue, a time and place will be made available. For today, we are discussing Cholera. So is there any hand for any question? Yes?
Good afternoon, Mr. President.
Afternoon, thank you.
My name is Nchimya and I'm from Diamond. Should have been last year or so, you had given a directive for some people should be in Chawama to be removed from that location because of the poor state of the area. It is always flooded. Up to now, nothing has been done, and we are meant to believe that once continue, meaning again it will be a flooded area. Any permanent solution to such challenges?
Yes.
Good afternoon, Excellency.
Afternoon.
Also at the contact. I've noticed you talked about the issue to do with expediting the process of manufacturing the vaccine, the cholera vaccines locally. But for the situation that we're facing now, how soon are we going to see vaccines into the country for people to be able to access?
I think those are the two exercises we have.
Yeah, thank you very much, colleagues, for the questions. The first one, really, Chimunya, is you're right. We gave a directive. We have to make sure that directive is followed. I think you were referring to the flooding that took place last season, rain season, 2022, 2023, if I'm not mistaken, where houses were submerged. I think we went together with the DMMU colleague, and I will simply make a follow-up. My colleagues in government are listening. Yes, that was the directive. And this is why it's important for citizens to respect directives, isn't it? Sometimes our people resist to do what is right, and they bring in parochial issues, other arguments. It's for the good of them and neighbors and the country. I must say, Chimunya, one of the issues we're grappling with is a new government. Okay, as a government. People will say 2 years, 4 months, we are no longer new. As a government, is just to restore order. What you saw in Chawama, if you came with us, people were building houses in the ditch. I think that was a gravel pitch. I mean, am I right? Gravel ditch. And a house was put up there. A couple of houses were put up. Council, local authority, all of us working together, Mr. Kango. That's the inference I was making here, that we must work as one unit. Central government, local government, quasi-government institutions, community across. It's lawlessness in Chemunya. Lawlessness went beyond your own imagination. That's what we see. And that's what we're grappling with. And when we say to citizens, can we respect the rule of law? The laws including minimum standards, building standards, requirements, certification from the council. And when the government takes down properties that are illegal, who cries in the communities? It's us community members, isn't it? These are the consequences. So I agree with you. So we will make a follow-up, but it shouldn't be the president to make a follow-up all the time. Directives must be implemented instantaneously. But Secretary of Cabinet, let's check that. Let's follow that. I think DMMU, you were there. We were together in Chawama. I remember that day very, very clear. And Minister of Health, again, it comes to you, to all of us, you were there.
Yes.
Can we follow these directives? And I'm noticing that sometimes citizens deliberately want to ignore guidelines given to them and then bring in politics and start preaching stuff that leads to damage to lives, loss to lives like this. But I get your point. Thank you. Oswald, the cholera vaccines, I think maybe I didn't illustrate it enough when I was giving my short message. I said, we are looking at accessing vaccines wherever they are. I'm talking about those that have been manufactured already. Oswald, I would like one of my colleagues to comment, because in the briefing I got here is that we may have vaccines from the support extended to us by the WHO. I will ask my colleague to pick it up shortly. But yes, we are looking at immediate access to vaccines as we are working on manufacturing vaccines. Those of you who attended the Africa CDC conference, we talked about vaccines production in this country, not only for Zambia, but for the region and Africa. I think we've made progress in that process. and then we're caught up with this situation. Maybe that's why it's important that I've been emphasizing, the government has been emphasizing speedy implementation of decisions that are taken. And normally bureaucracy seems to rule the day in the public sector. We shouldn't be doing those things. You can see the consequences. Prof. Chilengi?
Thank you, Mr. President. The indicative arrival date of the WHO-supported vaccines is 14th January, in a few days' time. And as soon as the vaccines come, we are working on plans to vaccinate our communities most at risk. Now we are expecting only 1 million doses from there, and so there will not be enough for everybody. But we try and prioritize